Hi everyone, welcome again to today's course, and today we'll be talking about intents. Okay, what are intents? Intents are generally like messengers, or let's say what the Android system uses to carry messages from one place to another, from one activity to another, from one component to another. Okay, I want to go to an activity. It also acts as the transport in which you move from one screen to another in Android. Okay, so I'm in screen A, and it's a login screen, and I put in my email and password, and I say login. So if I meet the criteria for login, it takes me to a new screen. It takes me to my dashboard, for instance. Okay, so the ability of you going from login screen to dashboard screen, intent uh, takes care of that transition. Intents are in charge of that transition. So as far as it meets the criteria, intents go forward. So if the user is stored in the database, and you search for the user in the database and you find that user, well, okay, you can go. Just like once you have a board pass, well, you can go into the plane. So let's take that plane, the plane or the car or the train, as intent. So that's what intent does. It takes you from one location to another in your app. Okay, let's just look at it practically. I'm in Android Studio, and we already designed this in um, views. I think material design views. Okay, we added the spinner in our spinner class, but I'll be taking this off when we won't be needing this. Okay, uh, you may decide not to. Okay, you may decide not to, but I want to make this video as simple as possible. So um, I'll just open the two files I'll be using. So the XML is already open for main activities. What I'll be looking for is the Kotlin file for main activity that I can find in app, make sure it's in project and in Android. Normally I just go to app, Java, and then this material design, not Android tests and not test, this, the one without a label. Like, then you can see the main activity. So this is it. So I'll clean up. Okay, instead of cleaning it up totally, but I can still recreate the spinner in my XML and say, okay, hey, I want to use the spinner. That's one of the things, very good things about. I just comment this out. Oh, okay, Control Z. Okay, I just took it out, and I can comment the whole out, so it's like it's not there. Okay, so let's start. Uh, I'll be doing some few tweaks to our um, input text input layout for the username and password. Now I don't want to use username. I want to use email instead. Okay, I want to use hint email. Okay, tell me to. I'll come here, what, enter, and create string value resource, yes, and I'll just write email. And yes, I want it to both, yes, and the email is created. But I want to make sure that not everything you type here could, okay, um, before we now get into doing some, let's say, backend stuff. I just want the to start screening from here, screening what people write here. So if what people write here does not look like an email, it doesn't go through. It must look like, not the email must not be real, but it must have the format of an email. The art must be there and all. Okay, password. I don't want people to see my password. I want to be able to toggle, the toggle that the eye toggle that we usually have in passwords, so that you can see it, or you can, or you want to make it encrypted. We're doing that now. Okay, so in the text input layout for email, okay, let's know that the input edit text for email doesn't have an ID, so we'll just create one. I'd just like to copy the one for, instead of creating one from, okay, let's create one. ID, okay, and it's going to be email edit text. Uniformity is key. I want it to be uniform, so we have password edit text here, so I have email edit text. So I can say, okay, I don't want any other I don't want to use any other I don't want anything typed here to go to the back end. I just want to scrutinize it from the get-go. So I'll put the input type, just press I, and then input type comes up, and then I'm saying I want it to be text email address, so it starts scrutinizing from the get-go. For the password, I'm saying I want the input type to be text password. So note where I'm putting it. I'm putting it in the input edit text, text password, input edit text. But there's something I will be doing in the input text input layout of the password. That's where I will start putting this toggle on and making sure it's more like a password. So I'm going to just do T, that's to toggle. Alright, okay, TOGG, and the toggles are already here. So first I want to enable toggle password true. So it's now more like a password. You can see this comes out. Now I can customize this image. If I don't want this image, I can say toggle drawable. And then I must have whatever I'm going to, the image I'm going to be using will be here. And how do I make it to be here or put it there? I'm gonna say new, right click, and then new, and I say okay, vector assets, yes. So I'll do this. So what it does do is tap on the clip art, the different icons that they pre-installed in Android Studio will pop up. Okay, this is quite slow. Okay, so we have different icons, 5G, 4K, So if instead of using that eye icon, I can say I want to use this icon, but just know that every icon has its own, you can see it's the name attached to it. Okay, um, generally once I see this icon, I know that it's talking about brightness. Once I see this icon, I know that it's talking about build. Okay. Once I see this icon, I know that it's talking about to cancel something. So cancel schedule. Okay. Let's see toggle. So toggle on, toggle off. See it. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Nothing for password. So these are it. You could filter it this way. You don't want to show all. Okay, my system is acting up. Okay, but that's it. I don't want to go into um, my system is acting up. Okay, so that's it. I would clean this. So automatically it's already a password. So if you run the app now, you type here, you see that it's going to be encrypted. But once you press this button, it will show whatever you type in, reveal it. Okay. So uh, let's go to the main activity and call all this here there. So I'll create a function sign in. Okay. I'll call a function sign in, and to create it, alt enter. I'll create the function. So that's the function sign in. Okay. So one thing I will just need to do is call or initialize all the views that are here. Okay, and okay, we'll say okay, var email equals to find view by ID, and it's a edit, not just an edit text. Let's go back. See text input edit text. So text input. Okay, this is it. Text input edit text. Okay, I'm saying the ID is email edit text. Okay, instead of writing all this again, I could just copy and edit. For edit text, we have two buttons. Okay, we're making use of only one for now, so I'm going to reference the other one. So here it's password, and this should be the sign in button or login. Here's the sign in button. Okay, you see camel case, small letters, and then I want to write another. I start with a lowercase, and then I start with an uppercase here, lowercase here, and I start with uppercase. That will call camel case in Android, and that's where you ought to write your code. Okay, spaces are not allowed. Okay, sorry, this is only a text input edit text. It's not email, it's password. Okay, should spell correctly. So it concedes. So it finds that, and here it's not. Let's go back. Let's click on it. Module button. Next button. So there's the next button. Next button. But it's not an input. Let's see. Material button. So make sure you call it that way. Material. I see it here. Material button. Okay. So we've initialized all this. So it's now time for us to start. So what we want to do is when user clicks the next button, like login, he inputs his email and password and then clicks the button. What happens then? So sign in button, we have to set on click. Okay, set on. Okay, you can see set on click this now, and then we're saying okay, if sorry, if email, yes, not if email dot to string dot is null. Okay, it's null or empty. So if we have an empty field, okay, so it's null or empty, or this is the or, oh, sorry, or yes, password dot to string. So you're converting everything to string first. That's what the to string means. It's null or empty. I want it to do something. To be okay. This is not supposed to be. Let me cut this out. Cut, because I'll be using it. Okay. Conclusion. I think I'm in the right path. Yeah. Confusing with Java with Kotlin. So those dots make text. I just I cut it before, so I pasted it back. That's what I did. So let's say you provide context. The context is main activity this, and then I want to see the text I want to it to show the tools to show is email or password is not provided. So this checks is null or empty checks if the field is empty. That's the edit text for user for email, and the edit text for password is empty. And if it's empty, we should say that email or password is not provided, and then we can still toast dot length long, and what we want to do is show it. Okay, just clean this off. So let's unclick this now. Am I doing something wrong? Okay. Yeah. I knew I was getting something wrong there. So I actually cut it before, so I'll just Ctrl V paste it. Okay. If you cleaned it, you could just write this again. Okay. I just knew that there was something wrong with that. It wasn't supposed to show me any error at that point. Okay. So if I like putting my boundaries, so if this one, so I like putting my boundaries. Okay. Let's better just go through this again. This is the boundary I put curly braces here and curly braces for the if statement. Okay. Now like this last one to come down so that I can be able to say else. Okay. Else it should under curly braces for else statement. And say if under if statement, if email dot to string is, okay, this is not the assignment operator, this like more like is the equal to operator. So because we're not connected to a database, I will just make it a specific email address. So if you don't write that specific email address, you won't be logged in. So the specific email address is with skill. No, no, will not use with skill. I'll use um, man at gmail.com. So and password, I'm making a definite password, so to string would be equals to, okay, don't forget the double quotes. It shows that it's a string, the same thing here. So I will say it's equals to 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so if that is it, do this. If it means the criteria, we'll now put our intent. So if it's this, I want you to log the person in, and to log the person in, you have to move from this main activity screen to the next screen, and for that we need to create the next screen. And let's say the next screen is view activity. Okay, view activity is the next screen. So we'll create the intent with the variable, the keyword var, and then intent. We're creating a variable called intent, and which is equals to the class intent. Intent is a class, or there is a class for it, and then this. So this is where intent is created, not view activity. Okay. Class, but Java. can just start activity, and I'll call the intent here too. Um, so else, if the person inputs this particular email, we should take the person to the view activity, and else will show a toast saying, I just copy this toast and then paste it here. Toast not makes test, and now what I'm saying is wrong email or password. So yes, if you run your code, it's supposed to take you from the main activity to the view activity. Another thing we should be mindful of is our under manifest.xml. Go to the under manifest and make sure the view activity is here. The main activity is already here, and the same is the launcher activity and is the main activity. But make sure the next activity, which is the view activity, is written here. If it's not, you could always write it this way. Okay, and when you see dot view activity, it means a lot. There's a lot that came before the dot. Okay, it just compresses them to a dot. And just in case you run into any issues and you are looking for view activity, you have to look for it in um, app layout. Yeah, sorry, app Java, and then com.example to my child design, and then view activity. So all this whole location, points are compressed to dots, the full stop. Okay, so since the manifest file is done, you can run your app. I'm running mine in a device. You may not be able to see it, but so I have my device plugged in. Okay, and see Samsung, it shows here. Okay, after I granted permission for it to be able to undertake debug, so it granted permission. So what I just do is to tap the run button, and you see it's loading here. You could use the Android emulator. To do that, you would have to go to tools, AVD manager. Okay, I have an Android emulator here, but it slows down my system a lot. Okay, to create one, you have to go to this place, create virtual device. Okay, so I choose, make sure it's in phone. I choose any of them. Okay, anyone. And once I've done, I say next, and just follow the prompt until you get to finish. Quite easy. Choose, then choose here, and you could easily use it. So it's still loading. There won't be any errors, I assure you. Okay, if you follow the steps, there won't be any errors, and then good to go. Okay, later we will discuss on how to pass information from one intent to another. Okay, text view. Oh, we cleaned the, we okay we I need to clean this test view from the view activity. So I will just go to my view activity. Okay, that's I'll go to the rest layout file for the view activity. I want it to be just this is okay. Okay, this is okay. So I'll run it again. Hopefully I don't get any errors. Okay, you can see the process of building, complete process, instead of these lines you normally see when you go to the build. Yes, if I want to look for errors, my phone is plugged to the system, so usually checking for errors in my phone, I can go to the lockout, okay, and change this from variables to error. Okay, there are different when debugging, there are different stages. Okay, we'll just look for errors, not just anything. So you can see so many errors, but it's part of the Android system. It's no big deal. Okay, it's no big deal. When it's going to be a big deal? Okay, so our Gradle build finished. So let's go back to build. Oh, system is already acting up again. Okay, so when build, so it's done. So check your device. Okay, it's installing. I think that's what it's saying here. I'll just close this. Okay. Oh, success operation succeeded. It has finished installing into my device, and it works over here. So if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. Okay, it works over here perfectly, perfectly. Okay, so take care till next time.